go guys, Jared Friends, Merritt MoCo. Welcome to YouTube channel. Today we have a 996 up here on the lift and wanted to show you guys a little piece of technology that we use to clean our exhaust systems. Everyone assumes that when we bring a car in that we're just dry ice cleaning the entire car, and that is how we get some of the exhaust systems so sparkly clean after they have a few miles on them. So you can see here on this one, it begins to tarnish. There's really no easy, quick way of getting that exhaust system back to looking brand new. And dry ice is not always the ticket. Here we have a machine that we use. This is called a Tig Brush, and it's made by a company called Ensitech. We have the TBE-550. What the TBE-550 does, it allows us to take this, dip a brush in this specific solution, and then use it on the exhaust systems to remove some of this tarnishing or remove some of this heat oxidation here on these exhaust systems. The way this specific system works is you've got a power button on the back, and here you can see we have a couple of options. Here we have it selected to be a single brush, and we're on clean mode. The specific solution that we're using today to clean this is the TB-25, which is a proprietary blend. I have no idea what's in it. Put it in this open container. And then we take our little brush here, and you guys can see it's actually a little brush, which is pretty wild. I'll be honest, when I ordered this thing, I had absolutely no idea what was happening. I didn't know what was even gonna show up. All I knew was some people said it worked and I had to try it. So we take our brush here and we get it as saturated as you possibly can. Now the key to this is making sure that you keep this brush absolutely saturated, because there's gonna be a fair amount of heat transfer here, and you can see there's some remnants down here of our brush actually in this fluid. So if it gets too hot and you don't have this brush really heavily saturated, you're gonna fry this thing. And those tips, as you can guess, with anything proprietary, not cheap. So we're gonna come up here and you can see a spot that we've already treated versus a spot that we have not treated. Quite a stark visual difference between these two solutions. So we've gone through this cart and we have done some dry ice cleaning to the undercarriage of this, the chassis, all the suspension parts, as well as the powertrain. And we did hit the exhaust very lightly. So now that we have all of the heavy top layer off, we're gonna take our Tig brush. We've got it all hooked up here. We're gonna make sure we've got some good solution saturation. We're gonna come up. We wanna get as much heat in the material as we possibly can, but again, walk that very fine line of making sure that our brush always stays saturated. You can see that it's starting to lift up a lot of that heavy oxidation here. And the more heat that we get into this material by moving our brush around on the surface, the lighter that this is gonna become. Now, in case you missed it, I previously stated this car is from 1999. This exhaust system, I have no idea on the history. I highly doubt anything's been changed out in quite some time. So the amount of miles that this exhaust system has seen, I believe to be quite a few. So to be able to take something that's seen years of miles and miles and be able to clean it to look like that's pretty incredible. Now, after you've taken your Tig brush, you've got it in the solution, you get the surface nice and warm, you spray this neutralizer on it. The neutralizer is gonna be very important, because what that's gonna do is it actually reverses the effect of the TB-25 that you put on there, allowing it not to cloud or any type of oxidation later on down the road. Now you want to take your water, spray that on, get a good solid rinse on both. Voila, pretty cool. Every part of the exhaust system is going to clean a little bit different, right? The amount of heat that gets into things, as well as the type of stainless. There might be more carbon in some of the stainless when it's produced, and honestly, some surfaces just clean better than others. If you're dealing with a really high-end exhaust, like one of our full stainless exhausts that we do all custom pie cuts and TIG welded, that's gonna clean really well. However, really high-grade stainless. On this exhaust system, everything is really gonna be contingent on the type of material. So we just saw how we cleaned here on this piping. Now let's clean up here on one of these mufflers and see what kind of results we can get. So again, keep our brush nice and saturated. Want to make sure that's always really heavy with material. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to try to get as much heat in that as we possibly can without going too far. Now, it should be stated, we've been cleaning a lot of exhaust. We've had this technology for a while. It does take some practice to get the hang of this. It's not gonna be something that you just get out of the box and knock out every exhaust system, make look perfect and brand new. However, you can get the hang of it pretty quickly. So we put some time into this piece. We're gonna spray this on, come up here, wipe this down, first pass. Now we can spend as much time as the customer wants us to make this look as perfect as we possibly can. This car's the driver. This car's meant to be driven, like all Porsches, like any car that any enthusiast is gonna enjoy. Get out and drive it. We're not chasing perfection with this car. We're just trying to give them a really clean canvas to work with. So this is probably as far as we're gonna take this, but we're gonna try to make all the other surfaces match this surface here. All right, so here we have our machine, and you'll notice one of the cords coming off it is this ground right here. So you have to have a really solid ground. We try to always do it on a clamp on the exhaust system, something that's not rubber mounted. However, you don't need to disconnect anything on the actual car itself. It's totally safe on the car, so you don't have to go in and start unhooking the battery. You don't have to worry about the ECU or anything, any negative charging. You can see the results. This is just one quick pass, and we've knocked it down a little bit with some steel wool. So if we really took our time, you can see the difference that we can achieve on these exhaust systems is pretty phenomenal. All right, so Miller had a really cool idea here. We're actually gonna do a little bit of cleaning, and then we're gonna shoot it with this really expensive high dollar laser pointer heat gun jobby, so we can see just how much heat we're putting into this material. So we'll find a good spot on our exhaust system. Let's jump over here. You can see this is, looks like some pretty nice material, and let's see how cool that is. So it's about 71, 73 degrees right now. Yeah, and it's about 73 degrees here in the shop. So we'll come over here, get our solution. We'll just start our cleaning process. You can already see the material really start to lighten up here. I like making these small strokes. I really have no idea if it works better, but it seems to produce the results that I like best. Wipe that down. It's like we're at 140. I think it went up to 150 once and it jumped back down. So you can see there is quite a bit of heat transfer in getting this material clean. Probably best not to touch it with your bare hand, but it is actually semi-warm to the touch. Totally safe for the car. So stay tuned to our channels to watch us perform this type of service and other services. We're always getting something really cool and neat in the shop, so you never know. But we'll have some shots of this vehicle once we've finished. We have done some dry ice cleaning, the whole bottom side, and we're gonna finish this exhaust restoration. So even though it might be a little premature, she's ready.